to the Pig Roach files, Good Samaritans and fellow agents. Today I am coming to you from my office here at the DIA. And the topics this week are Ask the Pig, the breakdown, Wings comes by, and is Swagginz turning? This week, we were supposed to get his next Legacy retrospective stream, where he sits there in the dark, staring at his old videos and old content, after spending all night screening them to make sure that there isn't any gold dust appearing for those mentally ill detractors. During his Ask the Pig, we got some lore about the Connecticut condo, about where his hat came from. We got a few rants about machinima, about working a day-to-day job, and also about good old John Rambo. We also got an interesting talk about why he is using water bottles. And with the help of Special Agent Mrhuth, we will go ahead and cover these topics right now. First off, I want to cover the whole rant about John Rambo.
Alright, Straight Cash Homie just cheered. He's highly unlikely if you and John Rambo stream together one more time, it would be gold. Well, first of all, it's not viable. It's never going to happen. We don't live together for us to stream together. That's number one. Number two, I wanted to continue doing co-op stuff like Smart Guys, our pro wrestling show, after I moved. It was John who was 100% completely dishonest and just lied to me for a year, making excuses why not to do it instead of just being honest with me. Then he came out with that really negative video about me on the internet, exposing all these things he didn't like about me, when in reality, all he ever had to do was have a conversation with me about them, and they all would have been fixed. So, I mean, you see what I mean? It's not going to happen. This is a guy who was dishonest with me for a year after I moved, apparently was being dishonest with me for time before I moved, then decides to air his grievances not to me to get them fixed, but instead insulting me on the internet. So that's not how you handle shit, especially when you're acting mature and you have someone who you respect. If anything, what I learned during that time period is that John didn't respect me. Because if he actually respected me, he would have been upfront with me, and he would have talked with me and got these things settled and or at least aired the grievances, rather than holding them in and then bombing me with them a year or more than a year. It was a year and a half after I had moved. If you respect someone, you give them the benefit of the doubt, and you actually give them a chance to fix something if you feel that they've wronged you or whatever. And John didn't do that. He never gave me that opportunity. So sadly, I unfortunately would have zero interest in doing anything else with him unless he was going to come and basically man up and apologize to me and say, Phil, I'm sorry that I went about that the way that I did. I felt wronged, but you're right. I shouldn't have done it that way. There's no point. And by the way, this other thing is, Phil, why don't you contact John Rambo? I was the one contacting him all along. I was the one after I moved. I would text him repeatedly, trying to talk to him, see how he's doing, get information from him if he ever wanted to do Smart Guys or anything else. And he basically was at the end was just blowing me off. Then when he made his big video about me, he acted like I was the one who never contacted him. It was a complete lie. It was the opposite. I was the one who always contacted him. He never contacted me. It was like as soon as I moved, he wanted nothing to do with me anymore. So why on earth would there be a reconciliation when the ball is 100% on his side? He's the one who had the problem. He's the one who didn't tell me about the problem. He's the one who insulted me on the internet after the fact, and then acted like I was the one who was at fault. So, no, you're not going to see anything else between me and him. At this point now, it's been, 3.5 years since he severed his ties to me completely by putting out that video. I'm pretty sure he's not magically going to overnight change his mind and want to come back and do stuff. So, the answer is no.
And once again, the Pig Roach claims that John Rambo was at fault for their falling out. He says it's his fault that they went ahead and split their separate ways and that they do not do any content together. Well, from what I've seen, and from what I've been around for, the Pig Roach is at fault for that friendship falling apart. He let his ego and his YouTube money start to put a terrible wound into the friendship that he had with Rambo and Howard. It didn't become about a couple guys just hanging out, having a good time, playing some video games, as you might see on other channels, such as Maximilian's Yo Video Games channel, where it's just a bunch of dudes hanging out having fun. No. The Pig Roach made everything about his business, about YouTube. He went ahead and didn't hang out with the guys anymore. He wanted them to come over to his condo, which we'll touch on later, and record videos all the time. There's no more hanging out. There's no more being mall rats. There's no more going out for food, unless if it was for a DSP tries it. Now, the Pig Roach, right before he moved, took an old box of unsold Project 7 shirts, which I'm sure you've heard of from other detractors. Well, he took those shirts, went across the United States with Panda, moved into the Gout Palace in Seattle, found out he just didn't have enough money to make ends meet, so he came up with an easy cash grab. That being, he used the old Project 7 merch as bait to go ahead and get easy money from his Pig Roach cult, to go ahead and incentivize them to donate to a new Project 7 reboot that never happened. Which, good old Dave just took the money from all of that and ran away, just to bury it in the backyard. He said there was going to be a reboot. It never happened. At the same time he was saying this, he started to blame Rambo and Howard and throwing them under the bus. And that is when Rambo and Howard finally had enough and had their rebuttal, which you can still go find, thanks to somebody who has archived it. He went ahead and later talked about clout chasing because somebody brought it up.
All right. Continuing on. Let's see here. Master Saru says these days people will go to do anything to get clout. For example, someone tried starting beef with Ninja over something he did a year ago. What do you think of clout chasers and the people who think it's okay? It's stupid because, you know, it's like I just mentioned, people change over time. So imagine someone still goes after me for something I did 10 years ago. They still do. They will still go after something, a video that I put out in late 2010. So we're talking over 8 years ago. Oh my God, that was the one time when Phil did something that was seen as offensive and racist. That's Phil to a T, and how dare he be allowed on YouTube and Twitch for something that he did over 8 years ago. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're a human. You've never made a mistake. You're a perfect person who never, ever has done something that you maybe categorized as wrong or over the top or kind of not correct by modern standards. And now you're going to tell me that because of that, you're just stained for life, right? And what you see is people who try to do this shit. You see it on social media recently. Oh, let's look at a celebrity tweet from a decade ago that, oh my God, that was an insensitive joke or a tweet that was insulting 10 years ago. And now that person, you know, can't make movies anymore or can't even get a gig in stand-up or loses a job because, oh, you found something insensitive they did 10 years ago and you're a clout chaser. Oh, look, I'm the guy who exposed this guy for who he is and blah, blah, blah. Get the fuck out of here. The bottom line is, when you are a celebrity or if you're someone who at least at face value, has some kind of public persona, okay? You got to understand that you are in the limelight constantly, and people will micro-analyze everything you do, put you under the microscope, per se. But we're all fucking human. Things that we did years ago are not things you did today. You know what I mean? I openly admit, in the past, I did stupid shit. I used to do, over-the-top jokes. I said words I shouldn't have said. Things that are just dumb. As part of the retrospective event that we just did in September, we saw a few of those moments and we're like, what the hell did I say that for? Do that for, right? And that's stuff I would never do in the modern era. That's crazy that I even did that stuff back in the day. But you learn from it, you mature, all right? Just my commentary style, all right? My commentary style back then, and actually I was talking to a cat about this the other day too. She's like, back then you used to be so vulgar. You'd play a game and it'd all be sex, sex, sex. Look at that girl's tits and sexual comments about the girl constantly and stuff like that, or racist jokes and stuff. And now I don't do that shit anymore. I've phased it out and people still like my stuff. I think back then it was more of a, oh my God, this is the guy who's over the top extreme. And I kind of take that from my influence from watching the Angry Video Game Nerd. Where you watch an old school Angry Video Game Nerd video, every other word out of the guy's mouth is fuck, shit, ass, duty, liquid Hershey squirts, fucking, just nasty shit that he used to say. And then, it changes over time. And the same thing here, where like when I started, that was kind of my inspiration. So I got to be as over the top vulgar as I can. Every puerile, childish reference to get the teen viewers on YouTube to like what I'm doing and laugh at my jokes and stuff. And then after a while, it got played out, man. You know what I mean? Like, it just got bad. It just got like, why am I still doing this? And I didn't even enjoy doing it anymore. It became more, I'm a childish comedian who's here to do stupid, gross comedy, sexual comedy, instead of actually being someone who's here to have fun and enjoy the game. You know what I mean? And it was actually when I mellowed out more, I cut that out. I started being more reactive, more serious with my playthroughs, doing more lengthy side content and enjoying the stories more, interacting with you guys during the streams and doing more chill streams. I think things have gotten much better, But look how different Phil of 2019 is versus Phil of 2009, Complete night and day when you look at the kind of commentary and stuff that I used to do. And that's the thing. A clout chaser. Did you see what Phil did 10 years ago? Look at the kind of person he is. And they still do this. Like, for example, I'll try to get a sponsorship. And I'll announce the sponsorship because obviously if you're going to have a sponsor, you have to announce it so people know about it. And immediately they'll go attack that person on social media. Did you see this racist thing he did on Blip TV in 2010? Did you see this thing he did, 8 years ago? What the fuck? It's like, show me something recent. That Phil's still like that and he does those things. You can't. But that's it. They'll just spam the fuck out of these people looking for clout and get people in trouble. And they get jollies out of that stuff. They do. They literally get jollies. So, it is what it is. The modern clout chaser for me are the people who steal my content just to be negative about it. You illegally restream my streams. You download my videos off YouTube and re-edit them for your own sake just to say nasty shit about me. That's the ultimate clout chaser. That's a person who has no fucking talent whatsoever. If it wasn't for me creating the content first, they would have nothing to put out. Because all they are someone writing my coattails to make their own content. And they know for a fact that if I were to go away overnight, they'd be done. So that's why, oh God, we'll harass Phil, we'll fuck with him, but don't ever destroy him because what else would we make fun of and how would we ever get any clout for ourselves if we have to have our own talent, which we don't have. And that's what I mean. Those are those kind of people. They only ever were known because of me. And it's funny because over the years, there's been a large group of people who've been like that. And all of a sudden, they'll have white hot popularity and then they'll go away. I can just tell you, the people who started off things like this is how you don't play movement. Oh my God, they were known for 2-3 years as the biggest thing, and then no one cared about them. The SOK. Oh my God, the biggest haters of Phil, they're all hilarious. Then all of a sudden, now they're not anymore. Now they're like the most pathetic humans on planet Earth. Like, wait a minute. One day you worshipped these people. The next day you say that they're awful. Well, no, actually in reality they were always awful. You're just a fucking idiot who went with a bandwagon, right? But that's what I mean. These are all just clout chasers. Here's someone who has some kind of notoriety, some kind of popularity. Bring them down however we can. Throw our hooks into them and pull them down, whether it's show something outdated from years ago, whether it's spin something to be negative to make them look bad, and we get some clout for doing it, and then they get pulled down a peg, and I can get my big E penis erect because I feel like I actually concrete hurt someone, and I have that ability. Because in real life, God forbid, I have ability to do anything. I'm probably just a powerless wimp who just sits around in his fucking PC or on his phone all day trying to hurt other people because I'm just a nobody, and I have a horrible life in real life. So let me now take that negativity from my real life and put it towards someone who's positive and someone who's successful on the internet. Okay? That's what I think about clout chasers.
He said that anybody like myself, or like my fellow detractors, who make videos about him are just clout chasers. We're trying to go ahead and leech off of his infamy or fame, whichever camp you're in. And that all we're trying to do is make easy money off of him. Well, I don't know about you guys, but right now, I don't monetize any of my Dave content, anything to do with the Pig Roach. Mostly because I use other people's content to go ahead and facilitate and add to my conversation with you. And I would feel as it could be unjust if I took pennies from ads without giving them back to my fellow detractors. Now, I have set up other ways to donate to the DIA, which we can go over in the future. I haven't made a point of it because, well, I'm doing alright for the most part. I mean, we're adding to our videos, we're making things better week to week. It's all about that constant improvement here at the DIA and here in my personal life. However, I find it a joke that he calls us clout chasers. These videos that I make about the Pig Roach are just to point and laugh at them and share some deep knowledge and to go ahead and give you guys a little bit of entertainment for your week ahead. I do it for a creative reason because I enjoy it and it's fun to do. He talked about why he is using water bottles, and he gives these points here, which shout out to Dragoonism over there on the Kiwi farms for that bullet point. As you can see, sure, sometimes bottled water can taste better than regular tap water. But I vaguely recall the Pig Roach owning a Brita filter, which he used to pour the water into his King of Hate cup back in the old days. Whatever happened to that Brita filter? Dave? Did you break it? Did you just decide to leave it in Connecticut in the condo, which you clearly stated that you have no intention of fixing up or renting, that is just leeching on your finances, and that is all it will ever be anymore. Probably until it's paid off to where you can make a quick buck selling it. His second point about using water bottles is that it's better to have a plastic bottle than a nice glass on your desk while playing games. That is just a moot point. There's no reason to bring that up. It's just preference overall. Yeah, you can screw a cap onto it, but you can also put a lid on a glass. It's not that difficult. According to the Pig Roach, though, as you saw earlier, that water bottles don't take up a ton of room in landfills, and that they are recycled quickly. Well, he's kind of correct with that. But you have to make the effort to go ahead and recycle them and separate them, which he might be too lazy to do anyways. And as he made that point, he finished the bottle and crunched it right into that microphone. So, rest in peace, headphone users. I'm sorry you have to deal with that every time he finishes a bottle. And lastly, apparently to the Pig Roach, water bottles keep water colder longer because of the screw cap? Are you kidding me? Plastic water bottles have no insulation to help regulate temperatures at all. Now, if you had an insulated water bottle, one of those fancy flasks, like the hydro flask, and you used it all the time, those work very well. However, the Pig Roach doesn't care much about the environment. He doesn't care about anything else, except for him, his money, and how easily he can obtain it. He ranted as well and claimed that detractors and trolls ruined any possibility of him hosting a charity event or putting one on. Now, to break that down a bit, he claimed that he had other content creators ready to line up and join him on a charity event. However, the trolls reached out to those creators, and poor Piggy got blacklisted. Now, he could have just said, hey, you know what? I'm streaming for a good cause. I'm going to take this money and donate it. Everything you put out for one Saturday a month. Or one Saturday out of the year. And turn it around and give it to a good cause. But he's too lazy to do that. And he values his content more than that. Which is very, very selfish, to say the least. Now, I plan on doing a charity stream here next month in February for a full Saturday. We'll play some fun games. I don't know what, but I'm going to end up donating any money that you send me to a local animal shelter so I can help those creatures that cannot help themselves, that get stuck in a bad situation because their family can't afford them, have to move away where they cannot have them anymore, or somebody might have passed away. I would like to see some of these animals in this local shelter get some forever homes. And hopefully with your help here next month, that we, together, can make them a little more comfortable in a bad situation. So, we'll cover that later on Twitter. You can follow me using the link below in the description. Wings of Redemption went ahead and dropped by during a stream that the Pig Roach was playing Dark Souls. Wings was pretty upbeat, and he was a good viewer overall, trying to help the Pig Roach out to figure out certain things. Well, the Pig Roach, however, noticed the spotlight wasn't on him anymore, and that tips and cheers were coming in, telling him to talk to Wings, letting him know Wings was in his chat, hanging out, being a good boy, trying to help him out. Well, he went ahead and stopped the recording for his YouTube channel archive video and turned around and did this.
Scatman said he got subbed and immediately banned. I did not authorize anyone to immediately ban you, Scatman, so apologies if that happened. That was not me. Attunement or Vigor? That was Wings who recommended that, by the way. There is no Vigor. You must mean Vitality. You're thinking about a different From Software game. Swagginz cheers said, I vote subscriber only mode. I don't want that. Almighty Ming Levo says, for the retrospective stream, would you watch a don't play montage? No. Attunement gets a spell at level 14? Really? Then I'm really close. Alright, I'll do that. I'll do that. Damn. I don't have another spell, but alright. Fair enough. Okay. Alright, everyone, so I am going to update the leaderboards, even though, like I said, I was not going to derail the entire stream with you guys talking about Wings of Redemption. I've stopped recording for YouTube, by the way, so now I can actually talk. You guys got to understand something, alright? This is me being very honest. I have two audiences. I have a live streaming audience, I have a YouTube audience. How do you think the YouTube audience is going to feel if all we talk about for 30 minutes is that Wings of Redemption is in the stream? They're going to be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, well, who cares, right? They're just watching the game for the game. I understand that many of you, my viewers, may cross over with his audience, and vice versa. That's fine, but stop making the entire stream about another person who came in. Same thing if LTG came in here, which he did last year. People just need to learn how to behave. Oh, wow, someone's in here. That's nice. Okay, continue on with the game. Not, let's cheer 400 times, small cheers to try to get Phil's attention. Then let's tip, and let's sub, let's do this for 30 minutes while Phil's trying to play a tough game and distract the shit out of him, all right? You got to start to act a little bit more mature than that. And I didn't punish anyone or anything, but that's complete 100% stream derailment, all right? So please stop with that. All right. So anyway, let's take a look here because I actually believe...
Special thanks to Special Agent Outsider for that gem. So Wings is another locale, and he came up as being one of the greats in early COD games, mostly Modern Warfare 4. Correction, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare. He made a ton of money and tried to help out his family. Heck, he paid off his house, which his mom actually went ahead and refinanced under his nose, which he paid off again. And now poor Wings is about to actually lose that house because his mom's rather ill and did not sign the house over to him. Now, Wings does some stuff that most people don't like. He whines, bitches, and moans about trying to have a good time in a stream. That he gets affected by trolls a little too much, and that he's a little thin-skinned. And that he doesn't like video games anymore, and that he'd rather do something else. So he's trying to get out of his bad situation, which I applaud him for. But sometimes he breaks down, has a bad day, and just sends everybody that he can over to Bam World. With Wings showing up and talking with the Pig Roach cult, it is an interesting idea. Wings seems to be showing up and trying to reach out to the Pig Roach to get a collaboration together. He traded earlier with Battlefield 5's beta, which fell through, because good old Pig Roach told him to email him, which probably just went over to the spam folder or got deleted. Wings is playing this smart. He came in, tried to help out the good old Pig Roach, got crapped on by the Pig Roach, had a small rant about him, and Wings was nothing but nice. So in my eyes, it seems like Wings is showing up to go ahead and try to lead some of those pay piggies away from the Pig Roach cult and have him slide on over and join those wingnuts over there in his streams. So, the Pig Roach should have played nice, but he let his ego get him into another bad spot. And he probably ruined, yet again, another collaboration attempt between the two fat boys. Recently, I have been going undercover in the Pig Roach cult. And I have seen that one of the Pig Roach's own heads and mods have decided to slowly start turning against the Pig Roach and looking into the light. Swagginz, who pretty much bought his mod ship and also contributed quite a lot of cash to the Pig Roach's wallet over the years, has been recently jabbing at the Pig Roach for about a week or so. And he's saying things like this in chat. Now, if anybody else would have said something like that, they would have been banned in a heartbeat. However, Swagginz has a bit of pull when it comes to being in the Pig Roach cult. Heck, they even call getting banned there getting swagged, because he just swings the ban hammer when he wants. But Swagginz is testing the limits of the Pig Roach, and sooner or later, the piggy will bite back. Swagginz might catch him on a bad day when he stayed up all night drinking gin and watching some WWE, and then Swagginz could probably drop some sort of jab like we saw earlier, and then the Pig Roach could go ahead and easily just boot him, tell him get the fuck out. I would not be surprised if that was the setup and how things happen. But time will tell if this kind of behavior continues. Or heck, it might even die out. And Swagginz could cool his jets. But this could very well be the year that Swagginz burns out and stops sipping the Pig Roach Kool-Aid, like many of the detractors that came before him. Thank you for enjoying another episode of the Pig Roach Files. Please drop a like, send a comment. I love reading those things. I read just about every single one of them when I can. And subscribe. If you haven't subscribed already, it's completely free. It helps me grow. It encourages me to go ahead and see that we have currently 126 subscribers. And I'm glad you guys drop by week to week to see what we're up to here at the DIA. Last week was a little rough. I just didn't have the time to go ahead and get some live streams together. But hopefully this week, we can do our Friday off day. We can join some people for some weekend restreaming over there. You know, like LSB. And I believe this coming Saturday, we will be recording the next episode of the Gentleman's Club podcast. So, I will see you soon, good Samaritans. And as always, be safe out there, guys.